What's up everybody, it's Broken Bones here and welcome back to Broken's Bedrock Tutorials. Today we're going to be learning how to build the superior moss farm. And the fact that it's stackable means that you can build a single farm early game when you're lacking materials and you don't have that much stuff. You can build this layer pretty easily and there's not much changes that you have to make in order to make it stackable. And since it's stackable, every single layer is pretty much exactly the same. And the main moss farm on the bottom has the brain and everything that makes everything work, and the rest of the layers literally communicate to each other off these redstone torch towers, which makes it especially easy to build. In fact, I even have a time lapse of me building it last season on our server in survival, and it served me very well. And my absolute favorite part about this farm is that you can build an insane storage system for it. And if you're going to be building this in an industrial district, you're going to want to have this farm right in the center. And the reason why is because this farm can actually distribute bone meal to all your other farms, which is actually extremely handy. And this farm, I've designed it with a shulker box storage system, so the storage for it is literally very, very tiny. It's these two little barrels here, and I haven't ran it long enough to fill that shulker box up, but at the same time we have done a test on the single layer one because I wanted to know the rates of it. But on this one, it's very, very easy to use. If one of your farms happens to need more bone meal, it will go ahead and call this system, and if we put a redstone block there, which that will do that, you can see that the water starts flowing and it sends a signal to this dropper sending out a shulker box of bone meal to your farm. And right here is my shulker box loader that calls for bone meal. Whenever it's empty, it will call for another box of bone meal, which is pretty handy. And so this thing will always stay full with bone meal as long as your farm has bone meal in it. And you can even watch those functions happening on the time lapse that I've provided. The link will be up in the top right hand corner. And with that being said, this will be a two-part tutorial. The first part will be for this bottom farm. This is a design here that you can build one layer of and get some early game bone meal and even moss for yourself. And the rates of this thing are actually pretty good. As you can see, this was an hour worth of runtime. We got ourselves, what is that, 9 times 4, that's 36 stacks plus a little bit, and keep in mind that it filled up the droppers and the hoppers too. So without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial, and a material list will be down in the description. So the first thing you want to do is chunk align this farm and sub chunk align this farm. What I mean by that is you want to find the sub chunks that are every 16 blocks. As you can see, I'm standing on top of Y64, which is 4 sub chunks up from Y0. And you want to choose which side you want to start on. All my farms are facing this way, so I'm going to start on this side. And the reason why you want to chunk align this thing and sub chunk align it is so when you load it in, nothing breaks. You want the entire brain of this farm to be loaded in all at the same time. So to get started, we're going to come on down here to your front left corner. Go ahead and come up by a block like that, and then go ahead and grab your packed ice. We're going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits of that on this side, and we're going to duplicate that on this side. We're going to come up by 1 block and place in 5 blocks right here, just like that. There we go. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take it in a dropper, and we're going to place that in right here. That's going to go right there, just like that. And then we also need another dropper facing up into that one from right here. We're going to do the same thing on each side, so let's go ahead and get that in place here. We'll go ahead and place in a dropper facing up like this, and then another one on its face like that. There we go. Go ahead and break any temporary blocks that you've put in place and grab your hoppers. Next, we're going to come up on top of here. We're going to place a hopper going into the bottom droppers here. So let's go ahead and grab that one and grab that one, and then grab yourself a chest. We're going to place that in right here. Next, we're going to go ahead and create the water stream here that makes the bone meal flow over to this soul sand, which will be a water vader here shortly. We're going to take a button, we're going to place that in right there, then we're going to grab some glass, we're going to put a temporary block there, and we're going to put blocks on all 3 sides of this ice right here. So we're going to bring that all the way down, just like that. We're going to bring this one all the way down, just like that, and then this one can stop right above the button, right there, so that way the water can come on up. We can place a block on the back side there, and then we can actually bring that up. That's going to be a tube of water going all the way up. And anything you do on that side, you can do on this side. So go ahead and place your button in, place in your temporary block, place in the 3 blocks around it, and go ahead and bring those glass blocks all the way to the side and make your tube coming up. Grab your water bucket, go ahead and remove that piece of glass temporarily, put your water in there, do the same thing on this side. Now that your water streams are in, let's go ahead and build the bone mealing system. So we're going to go ahead and throw 2 hoppers into the back of this one right here, and actually we're going to go ahead and throw 4 into here. So we're going to put 2 more on the back side right here, so we have a total of 4 hoppers right here. Grab your composters, go ahead and place these on top of these hoppers, just like so. Then on top of these guys, you're going to go ahead and place in 4 more hoppers, just like this. And then on top of these, you're going to place in some barrels and some more hoppers going into those barrels. What this does is it allows these hoppers, these 2 hoppers, to operate like 4 hoppers, because not only do they go into these barrels, but they also go down, so they actually have double hopper speed. Once you have that completed, go ahead and come to the side of your hoppers right here. We're going to place in some packed ice. We're going to place in 6 pieces on each side. If you've done that correctly, you should see that this stops 1 block shy of your soon-to-be water vader here. And if you've done that correctly, then go ahead and grab your glass. We're going to put some glass on the outside right here. Go ahead and bring that all the way across out like this, and you can even place that on the edge like so. Go ahead and do that. We'll place that one over here, and then we need a button right here and right here. That's going to stop the water from flowing on top of the hopper so all the items can go in. And then on this side, you need obsidian. I've used grinding obsidian because it looks really cool, but really all you need is an immovable block, and that needs to go all the way across to the end. Grab your water and go ahead and place that in on both sides. Now to place in some of the redstone, go ahead and come to these bottom droppers right here. We're going to place a block right there and a block right there. Go ahead and make a horseshoe around these hoppers so it should look something like this, just like that. And go ahead and come out 3 more blocks to the side like this. And then we're going to come out 6 more blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can go ahead and cover all of these blocks with redstone dust. Once you've got that completed, go ahead and come here to the end of your redstone. We're going to place in 2 temporary blocks right there and 1 permanent one right there. That's going to be a sticky piston. Then on the back side of that sticky piston, we're going to place in a redstone torch. Right now is a great time to check your redstone. Make sure that your redstone signal makes it all the way to both droppers on both sides. Really, this is going to be the one that's going to be in question. And if you don't have redstone going all the way to it, you've done something wrong. Double check your work and fix it. If you've done everything correct up to this point, go ahead and grab your observer. You're going to go ahead and place that on the face of that sticky piston in this orientation right here. You're going to take a regular piston. That's going to go on its face right there. We're going to go ahead and place in a block on its face right there. Then we're going to place in a couple temporary blocks. So let's go ahead and come over here. We're going to place in 3 temporary blocks, break those 2 out, and then we're going to place in another piston in the other direction, so this block will get pushed back and forth by these guys. On this side, we're going to go ahead and grab another sticky piston. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side. We're going to place a sticky piston in this orientation right here, just like that, with another observer on its face, like that. Once you have that in place, then we can go ahead and grab our droppers. We're going to grab a dropper right here, place it in that direction, put in a temporary block, and then place in another dropper in that direction. You can take that one out. Now we need to go ahead and bring some blocks down here. Go and place a block down there and a block down there, and grab your comparitors and go ahead and place in 1 comparator there and another comparator there. Then once you have that in place, go ahead and come around back right here. You're going to place in a temporary block and one out to the side like this. You're going to make a little square, a little 2x2 area just like so, and you're going to grab your repeaters and some redstone dust and put those there like that. And this right here is the brain of this whole moss farm right here. One thing you need to do is you need to come back here with a redstone torch and place that in right there. That'll be how this communicates up to your moss farm. And then on this side, you need to go to whatever dropper has the block on it, and you're going to go ahead and place in 6 items. As long as they're stackable, it doesn't really matter which ones they are. We need 6 items just like that, and that will go ahead and prime your system. Once you've completed the brain circuit right here, go ahead and come over here to this hopper. We're going to be placing in an overflow protection circuit. So go ahead and place in a block right there, right next to this hopper, and we're going to go ahead and take a comparator output from that hopper, place on subtract mode, and come out 2 more blocks out to the side like this. Go ahead and place another comparator into that one, and a dropper facing any direction. Doesn't really matter. We're not going to be using it as a dropper. We're using it to compare the amount of items that are in it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and fill this thing up. Go ahead and fill it all the way up. Take 1 stack, take 1 item out, and place that back in. So you should have 8 stacks and 63 items in there. That will go and subtract 14 signal strength from this one. So whenever this is full, it will finally put an output out. So what we need to do now is we need to come up with a block like that, break that one, and we're going to need a repeater, which I forgot to grab there. So let's go ahead and grab that and place that in place like this. We're going to bring that all the way down to the edge of your water vader here like so. Go ahead and place redstone dust on top of all of that. And then we're going to come up by a block here. We're going to place in 6. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. And that's going to go into a block as well. And you can place redstone dust on top of all of that. Once you have that completed, go ahead and come to the back side of this block right here that we ended with, and we're going to go ahead and place in a sticky piston in the downwards direction right there. Go ahead and come off of that one with a slime block like this. Go ahead and come out by 2 more, so you should have 3 just like so. Come down by 1, out by 1, and over to this side by 2 more. So when you're done, it should look something like this. When you have that completed, go ahead and grab your redstone blocks. You're going to place 2 right there. You're going to place in a melon block there, or any block that does not work with slime, so you could use glazed terracotta or anything that doesn't stick to it. Melons are just particularly easy to get your hands on. And then on top of this one, we're going to go ahead and place in a redstone block right there, and go ahead and place a redstone block on top of your piston. That should shove everything down and leave this block. That's the important part. We need to go ahead and place in a repeater right here with a block on top, just like so. That should go right into a block with a regular piston facing in this direction. Now once you have that done, we're going to come over here to these guys. Go ahead and place in 2 temporary blocks right here. You're going to take a couple sticky pistons, place them on the side like this, facing upwards. If I can get that to face upwards, there we go. Alright, now if we go like that, we should have an observer on this one. Go ahead and place it in that direction, and take your full block and place it on that piston. Once you have that circuit completed right here, go ahead and come to the front. We're going to go ahead and work on this water vader here really quickly. We need to go ahead and bring that up there, bring this up there. Go ahead and bring this one up too. On the back side here, we're going to have a total of 5 glass blocks, so that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and place in a solid block there, and then go ahead and come up by 4 more, so that's 3 and 4. Go ahead and have all these reach up to the top 2. Go ahead and do that to this side. Oop, there we go. Let's go ahead and grab that. There we go. And then on this side, go ahead and stop 1 block shy and place in a packed ice block so your items can go on top of that. Then down here, what we're going to do is we're going to come on down here. We need to place in 2 blocks just like so. Go ahead and place in some redstone dust and a repeater on this side. And then right here, we're going to break this block and place in a piston. So break that and place in a piston just like so. Come around front and go ahead and place in a redstone lamp right there. And then we need a lever on the face of that one, which is right here. I forgot to get that out before the clip, but there we go. That should be that completed. Then what we need to do is we need to run off of this piston right here with glass, and you should see that that lines up right with that redstone block there. And if we bring that all the way across there like that, you should see that whenever you turn this farm on, if you test it, that should activate this system. As you can see, these pistons raised up. That piston is now charged, but it cannot push because that piston is pushing, which will automatically turn the farm off when you go ahead and flick this lever back. As you can see, it retracted. So make sure that your circuit does all of that and functions properly. Once you've completed that, go ahead and come over here to the right hand side of your water vader. Go ahead and fill this in too. You're going to place in a couple blocks down there, bring that up to here, and we'll go ahead and place all that in, bring it up to there. Once you're at this point, you're going to go 5 more blocks up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that'll be where your packed ice goes in the back. So we're going to come up 1 block shy of that, go ahead and break that one, and we'll put in some packed ice there, and then we're going to bring these all up just like so, and place in your packed ice. I don't recommend putting water in these just yet. We'll do that at the end. Next, we're going to go and come on down here, and 1 block below the obsidian that you have, or immovable block, go ahead and place in a layer of glass, and you're going to bring that all the way across just like this, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 layers back, and you need to fill in that entire square with glass. Once you've got this completed, you should see that this line right here of glass extends out 1 further than the back, and it should be 14 blocks by 9 blocks wide, so make sure that you have that all in place. If you've got that all in place, then go ahead and come off this side right here. We need to place in a wall of glass, doing the exact same thing. We're going to come 1 block past the floor. Next, come off the back of your glass floor, go ahead and place in a line of solid blocks just like this, and then go ahead and come up diagonally like that and place in another line of solid blocks just like that. That should be 14 blocks in total. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our pistons. These are going to go in right here. Go ahead and place those all the way in just like so. We're going to place redstone dust on top of all of these blocks in the back here, just like that. This is where your stone will be getting generated, and we need to waterlog all of these pistons in order to do that. So grab your water and waterlog these pistons. Let's go ahead and get all that done. There we go. Oh, and don't do that. Don't be a derp like me and place in water where it doesn't belong. So once you have that in, this should look like this. Next, we need to go ahead and get our lava in place. So now we're going to go ahead and place in some glass here. We're going to come across the top here with a bunch of glass, just like that. There we go. We need to come one off to the side here and one off to the side here, just like that. Then we actually need to go ahead and place in a temporary block with some more glass right here. Go and bring that all the way across, just like this. And you don't need to connect these. Then go ahead and go from one side, skip 3 blocks. Go ahead and place in your lava source. As you should see, it should turn into stone and it'll flood out all the way to the edge, just like that. There we go. All right, then we're going to come over here, 3 blocks off to the side, and on the 4th one, place in your lava again, and you should see that that is all the lava that you're really going to need. It should stretch out all the way across. There we go. Next, go ahead and grab your glass. We're going to come right over here to the sides here. We're going to come up by 2 blocks right here. You do not need to place one down there, but you do need to place one up there like that. You can leave that one hollow. We're going to bring that all the way across here like this. You do not need another glass block right there. You can go right over your obsidian or crying obsidian or whatever you chose to use, and you're going to make a 2-block high glass wall just like that. Over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up by 1, come up by 2, put one over the edge just like so, and bring that all the way to the front just like this, and back just like that. Then to make things a little safer around here, go ahead and cover your lava in a layer of glass. Go ahead and take a glass block and go all the way to the end just like that, covering all of your lava so you don't step in it and fall and die. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to come off to the side of this block right here. We're going to come off this side by 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that. Grab your repeaters. You're going to place in 7 repeaters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that. And actually that one's not going to go there. That one's going to go over there. This one's going to go on 2 ticks. So you got 6 1-tick repeaters and 1 2-tick repeater, just like that. Then that repeater is going to go into a block, and we're going to place another block out here like this with some redstone on top, just like that. Underneath, we're going to place in a sticky piston in that fashion, just like this, with a observer facing upwards into that redstone on top of that block, just like this. What we're going to do down here is we need to come down here, place another observer detecting whenever that piston is activated, and we're going to place a block on its face, and that will detect whenever that piston moves, and it'll send a signal down to our brain, letting it know how many times this thing has gone around. Once you have your circuitry all done like this, make sure that this is all correct, that you have the observer facing down in that redstone, and that observer is facing up into that redstone, and that you got 7 repeaters right here, and the last one's on 2 ticks. Once you have all that in place, go ahead and come over here with a sticky piston. You're going to place in a temporary block with a sticky piston in that orientation. That should link up with your last bit of redstone right there. Go ahead and grab yourself an observer, face it down off the side of that sticky piston right there, and let's go ahead and test our farm. So if we've done everything correctly, this should be a stone generator right now. And so if we turn this on, let's go ahead and see what happens. There we go. There's 1 bit of stone, 2 bits of stone, 3 bits of stone. If you're getting any cobblestone in here at all you need to do is increase the time on that repeater right there, and that should make it all go well. And there, as you can see, we got a full bed of stone. Once you've tested your farm and you know you're getting all stone out of it, go ahead and turn your farm off. That proves that you've done everything correctly up to this point. And once you have done that, go ahead and come up here. We're going to be putting in your water flushing system now, and that's going to be right here on top of this block. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and place in a regular block. I'm going to be using glass. Go ahead and place one off to the side, leaving a gap right here. We're going to come out by 5 slime blocks. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to do the exact same thing over on this side. So that's a regular block, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You should be left with a 2-block gap right here in the middle. And if you are, then go ahead and place in 2 water sources right there. Then we're going to go ahead and take in some regular blocks and place those in right there, and that should flow out to the sides just like that. Then we're going to come up by 2 temporary blocks right here and right here, place in some sticky pistons right there and right there. Once you have these in place, you can go ahead and break these temporary blocks right here, go ahead and get rid of those, and then we need to come across the top of our water and seal it off. So we're actually going to come over here with a temporary block right there. You can place in a regular block there, but anywhere that you're going to be interacting with slime blocks, you're going to need melon blocks or glazed terracotta. So go ahead and bring that all the way across like so. We're going to do this exact same thing on this side. And so let's cover all of that up just like that. There we are. Then off to the side of these pistons, we need to go ahead and do the exact same thing. Cover that up, and we can put in a glass block right there. and same thing on this side. Go ahead and cover that up too. Go ahead and finish blocking off your water on the top right here with 2 glass blocks just like that. And once you're done with that, now it's time to go ahead and link these 2 pistons up to the brain circuit down below. We're going to be doing that right off this redstone torch right here. So go ahead and grab yourself a regular block, place it on top like this, and then we're going to go out diagonally on top of it just like that. So you should have 3 blocks in a row just like this. Grab your redstone torches, place 2 there and 1 out to the side like this. Grab your blocks again. We're going to come out by 2 more blocks just like this in a diagonal shape just like that. Go ahead and place 1 redstone torch there and another one on top. Once you're done with that, go ahead and place in a block on top of that redstone torch right there. And then we're going to place 1 out to the side like this, another block on top with another redstone torch on top. Now we need to come out to the side here with a temporary block and 1 up. Go ahead and place in a repeater off to that one. We're going to put that on 4 ticks right here. Then you're going to come off of this repeater block right here and you're going to place in 2 blocks like this, and you're going to extend that out by 4 blocks like this. So we have a 2x4 area just like so. Next, we're going to go ahead and take a comparator and place 4 of them in this orientation right here with redstone dust linking all of those up. Once you have that in place, go ahead and come on down here. We're going to come down by 1 block and out to the side by 1 block, and we're going to extend that out by 2. And you should see that these 2 blocks line up with the center of your farm. If that's so, then go ahead and place in yourself a repeater right there. Go ahead and place in some redstone dust on top. Go ahead and place in 2 redstone torches on the side. And then we're going to take 2 sticky pistons, 1 right there and 1 right there. You should see that goes all the way up to the front there, and we're going to put redstone blocks on their faces. If you've done everything correctly up to this point, go ahead and grab your redstone torches. We're going to come off the side of both pistons. We're going to do this on both sides. Go ahead and place a redstone torch right there with a sticky piston on the face of it like this, with an observer facing in this direction right there, facing in towards these melon blocks. We're going to place a regular block right there, and then we're going to take 3 repeaters right here. These are going to be right there, and these are all going to be on 4 ticks, so go ahead and put those all on 4 ticks. Out to the side over here, we need a solid block, and then we need a few more blocks out here like this. Go ahead and take that one away. We want 2 out to the side like that. You can break that one, so it should look something like this. Place in 2 more repeaters right here, both on 4 ticks. And then down below right here, we're going to go and place in some redstone. If you've done all that correctly, both sides of your farm should be looking exactly like this. And if that's so, then go ahead and come on down here. We're going to go ahead and come off the sides of this redstone here. So go ahead and place in a temporary block with an observer on its face. The red dot should be facing this way, and the face of it should be facing that way towards that redstone there. We're going to place in 2 observers just like that. Go ahead and come under this observer, break out these 2 blocks here. Come on down and place in an observer facing downwards like that, and you can replace those if you really want to. And then go ahead and place 1 more observer out like this. So it should give you this little Z shape right here. And if that's so, then go ahead and place in a solid block with a pistons on its face. Grab yourself a dispenser, put that on its face right there, and then go ahead and we're going to place a moss block right there. That's going to be what bone meals and gets the rest of the stone to turn into moss. Now what we need to do is we need to actually bring in the bone meal hoppers right here. So let's go ahead and bring these in right here. We're going to place in 2 hoppers just like that. That goes right into that dispenser. Then we need to go ahead and get some glass, place in some temporary blocks right there, and then we're going to come out to the side right here. This will be your little bone meal channel. We're going to bring that all the way to the edge of the observer just like that on both sides. Once you've completed both sides and both sides are looking just like this, go ahead and come over here to your water vaders. We're actually going to bring this packed ice block down by 1, so we should have a total of 3 blocks from the floor level up to that block. We're going to do that on both sides here. Alright, now we're going to take that ice block and we're going to bring that all the way to this repeater right here. Let's go ahead and bring that all the way to there. It should touch that. That'll go ahead and transfer the redstone signal down to that. We're going to do that on both sides. Go ahead and bring that all the way to that repeater. And then what we need to do is we need to place in a button right there and right there. And we're going to take some glass. We're going to go ahead and take some glass up here like this, out to the side like that. And then we can bring that all the way back here to those. Then we can do the same thing to here, bring that all the way back to here. Do the same thing on this side. We're going to come up by 1, just like that. Place in a temporary block out to the side like this. Bring that all the way back to your glass. Put a glass block up here and bring that all the way back to your glass too. Before we place in our water, double check to make sure that you have all the glass in the necessary places so you don't flood your redstone on accident. And if you got everything done correctly, go ahead and come down to the bottom of your water vader here. Go ahead and place in water sources all the way up, just like this. And we're going to go all the way up to the top, just like this. That should flow across all the way to that button. Past the button, place one more, and that should flow all the way to the hopper. We're going to do the same thing on both sides. Let's go ahead and go over here. Let's go ahead and place in water all the way up, just like this. There we go. All right, a few more, and one right there. There we are. And then we need a bucket of water right there, and that should flow all the way in. Once you have your water in place, now you can go ahead and take glass and cap it all off. Put glass on top of it all the way around, just like this. And on this side, you're going to skip one block, allowing the water to go down, come down like this, and then finish that off right there. Do the same thing on this side. Go ahead and come up by one, break that block, go ahead and come all the way across, just like this. We're going to come out by one, place in a block there, temporary block, block down like that, bring that all the way across to the top of your hopper like so. And once you've got those water streams completed, you are almost done. All we have left to do is literally put some bone meal in the system to prime it. I'm just literally going to put a stack. You don't need any more than that. In fact, you probably don't even need that much. You just need enough to go ahead and start bone mealing these guys. So let's go ahead and turn on our farm and make sure that everything's working. And we'll go ahead and let it cycle through its whole thing. And we should see these guys getting bone meal soon. So there's the water flushing. The water just flushed on mine, and it should do that. That would have bone meal had there been a bone meal in the system, but as you can see, there's bone meal coming up and going in right now. So the very next one's going to get bone meal. There we go. We're starting to get moss, and as you can see, the water's going to flush it off, and the water's going to quit as soon as all the moss blocks are broken. Very last one, and then bone meal again. There you guys go. There's your farm all done and dusted. Now, if you guys really wanted to, you guys can put in a floor. And I recommend putting a floor in right here, just like that. That's actually really loud, so I'm going to turn that off. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my machine, we're going to put in a floor right here at this level, and so we're going to bring this out here. You can bring it out as many blocks as you like. This is kind of all subject to change if you guys want to change it up, but you can put in a wall right here if you like to make that look a little bit more professional. Now you've got yourself a nice on-off switch for your farm, and when you turn it on, it should just go ahead and continue working. This farm will never break as long as you have it chunk aligned like I do, and you can turn it off literally at any minute. You can do this. You can even spam click it like that and it still won't break. You can use this thing as many times as you want. It's pretty robust. It'll serve you well, and it'll get you plenty of bone meal. And in the future, if you plan on making this thing bigger, remember that you can always expand it and stack it on top of each other. Do not leave the area with this farm running, or that is the only thing that will really break it. Go ahead and make sure that you turn it off before you leave. If your farm does break from you leaving the area or quitting the game and leaving this thing on, you'll notice that the light is on, but nothing's actually working. And that's okay, because it's not hard to fix. All you have to do is turn the farm off, like that, and then turn it on again, and it will turn itself right back on and fix itself. And if you put in a floor like I have, then you're going to want access to your bone meal down below right here. Go ahead and place in yourself 2 trap doors, one right here and one right here. Then that'll make it to where you can open those up and access your bone meal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your bone meal farm all done and dusted. This thing will serve you well and get you plenty of bone meal. And keep in mind that you are going to have to run it for some time in order to get any bone meal stacked up in here. It does have to fill these droppers up first, and as you can see, we've already doubled the amount of bone meal that we have, which is pretty good. And this thing will fill up with bone meal in no time. And I'm sure it will serve you and your server well. So make sure to go ahead and run this just a little bit, and remember that you can stack it up later on in the game if you want to. There will be a part 2 to this tutorial coming out soon. And yeah, I think that's just about it. If you guys enjoyed the tutorial and liked it, make sure to smack the like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Take it easy, everybody.